الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope everyone is doing good. So we're gonna continue inshallah from where we left in the last session. So just to refresh our memories, we are doing Surah Al-Baqarah and we read in the last class only the first 5 ayats of Surah Al-Baqarah. So Surah Al-Baqarah, as we said, it starts with with the Huruf al-Muqattat, the Alif Lam Mim. These are the separated words, the meaning of which only Allah Ta'ala knows. And then Allah Ta'ala says in this one that this book, Quran, is the book which is the book of guidance, and make sure that you don't have any doubts in it. So meaning Allah Ta'ala is saying that this book is for your guidance, the guidance which you have asked me for in Surah Al-Fatiha. Remember in Surah Al-Fatiha, we say Ihdina Siratal Mustaqim, Siratal Lazina An'amta Alaihim, Ghayril Maghdubi Alaihim Waladdallin. Amin. In that surah, we ask Allah Ta'ala that Allah Ta'ala guide us on the right path, the path of which who have been successful. So in this, right away Allah Ta'ala is responding to that answer, to that question, and he's saying that this is the book which has a guidance, and this is what you have asked for. Then Allah Ta'ala says that the people who have faith in unseen, people who have iman and they establish prayer and they spend from what I have given to you, the people who believe in Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and believe in all the prophets and believe in the day hereafter, meaning day of Qiyamah, these are the people who are on guidance. So people who have these qualities, those are the one who are guided, and those are for sure will be successful. So that's what we read in the very first page. So second page, we're going to continue inshallah. So ayat number 6. Rida, go ahead. You read the ayat number 6 first. Okay.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون. And the definition is indeed those who disbelieve, it is saying to them whether you warn them or do not warn them, they will not believe.
Okay, in this ayat, Allah Ta'ala says, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون. So Allah Ta'ala is saying to Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, indeed those who disbelieve, it is same to them whether you warn them or do not warn them, they will not believe. So remember, in the previous ayat, Allah says the people who have all those qualities are the one who are on the guided and will be successful. And this ayat, Allah says to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that indeed that the people who are disbelievers, people who don't want to believe, meaning they have already decided that they will not believe, right? So they already decided that they're not going to believe. Why they decided that? They decided, they made that decision based on their own desire, because they don't want to follow Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. They don't want to follow book of Allah Ta'ala because it's difficult for them. It's difficult for them to follow, because when you have to follow something, you have to give yourself into that guidance, right? You have to live your life according to the guidance. The guidance which Allah Ta'ala has given us, the boundaries which Allah Ta'ala has given us, we have to live in that boundary. So that boundary tell us, hey, you cannot drink. The boundary tell us you cannot go do certain bad things. The boundary tell us that you have to respect your parents. The boundary tell us you have to love Prophet Muhammad. The boundary says you have to obey Allah Ta'ala. The boundary says that you have to obey your parents, and you have to give respect to your neighbors. You have to give respect to your siblings, everyone. So the boundaries tell us to be good, to do good. The people who don't want to do good, they don't want to take any boundaries, right? They're like, why should we follow that? Because they're thinking we should be doing whatever we think, whatever we feel like doing it. So Allah Ta'ala has not given us freedom, meaning a Muslim is not born free. The Muslim cannot live his life as a free person. There is no such freedom, even though we are free to do whatever we want to do. But that freedom Allah Ta'ala has given us, that we have to stay in our boundaries. We have to stay in the boundaries which Allah Ta'ala has allowed us to stay in. So there are certain boundaries which need to be followed. So Allah Ta'ala is saying, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the people who are disbelievers, they don't want to believe, it does not matter if you warn them, meaning it does not matter if you tell them or you do not warn them, they will not believe. So they're not going to believe you. Doesn't matter you warn them of hellfire, you scare them from hellfire, or you don't scare from the hellfire. They don't want to believe and they will not believe. Right? Because Allah Ta'ala is telling Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that these people, Allah Ta'ala is not saying that don't go and preach them. Allah Ta'ala is saying you continue preaching, you continue the task which you have given to you. The task is that you go tell people there's Jahannam, there's Jannat. So you make people scared of Jahannam because of the scare. Because if they get scared of Jahannam, they want to follow book, they want to stay on guidance, so they can be successful. But the people who they already decided they don't want to be, they don't want to be believers, they will not believe. And we know why they don't want to believe. They don't want to believe because they're following their nafs. Nafs is like they're following their inner saying. But human being is made of dirt, right? We know that human being is made of dirt, and the quality of dirt is to destroy everything. The quality of dirt is to ruin everything. If you want to destroy something, like you want to destroy a toy, the easiest way would be throw it outside. If you throw it outside of the dirt, after some time, that dirt will make it dirty and make it rusty, and it's going to be destroyed, right? So that the dirt will do its thing. The human being is made of similar dirt. The quality is that quality always tell us to do something bad. But Allah Ta'ala says, don't do bad, because if you do bad, you will end up in Jahannam. So it's a battle which we need to fight with ourselves to stay on the right path. Right? Understand? So Allah Ta'ala has given us this quality that we need to control ourselves. We need to control ourselves to be a good person. So here Allah Ta'ala is saying that the people who are disbeliever, they have decided they don't want to believe. Does not matter, you warn them, you warn them about hellfire, they don't want to believe, and they will not believe. Okay?
So,
Ji.
If you're walking somewhere and you go to the wrong path, you will get lost. If you go to the right path, you won't get lost.
Yes. If you want to go somewhere, you have to be on the right way, right? If you are on the wrong track, you will never get to your destination. So for Muslims, our destination is what? What is our destination?
You have to go on Jannat.
Jannat, exactly, mashallah. So our destination is Jannat. To go to Jannat, we have to stay on the path which Allah Ta'ala has given us. So we have to stay on the right path. And that right path demand us that we follow the rules which Allah Ta'ala has given us to us. The right path demands us that we don't get distracted and we stay focused, and by staying focused, it requires us that we become a good Muslim. We become a good person. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Okay, Ayan beta, next ayat.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم ولهم عذاب عظيم. And the definition is Allah set a seal on their hearts and on their hearing and on their vision is a veil, and them is a great punishment.
Yes. So Allah Ta'ala in this ayat says, ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم فعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم. Allah says that Allah has set a seal on their hearts and on their hearing. Allah Ta'ala, what does it mean? And then Allah says, and on their visions is a veil, and for them is a punishment great. So very first part, Allah Ta'ala says Allah has set a seal on their hearts and on their hearing. So what does it mean? That Allah Ta'ala has put a seal. Seal is like a stamp. So Allah Ta'ala is saying that their hearts and their hearing and their vision, three important things which a person has to learn something, right? How do you learn something? To learn something,
Do you go to school?
nice. So you go to school, but how do you learn something? To learn something, very first thing you need is eyes, right? Because with that eyes you see, you learn, you read. So either you read to learn something, or you either look at something to learn, right? If you look at something which someone is doing, you grab that with your eyes and you learn it, right? You see someone doing good thing, you look at that and you already learned how he is doing good thing. So the eyes is the biggest source of our knowledge, right? With eyes we can read books, with eyes we can see things, how things are happening. If you want to learn how to fix a car, you see how someone else is doing it and you can learn, right? So eyes are the biggest source of knowledge, right? So we know that eyes are biggest source of knowledge. Then what's the other big source of knowledge? Other big source of knowledge is ears, right? Like I'm telling you something, you guys are listening. So the ears are helping you to grab the knowledge. So the words which I'm saying, you are listening. These ears are helping you to hear this thing, and with that hearing, obviously, you're getting some knowledge. So same thing happens with schools. When you go to school, your teacher is saying something, and you're listening to that saying, and you're getting knowledge.
Sometimes friends be mean to you because they close your ear holes.
Yeah, so they're playing. So let's not go there. So Allah says, so we know that to learn something, to get new knowledge, two major things play a big role, right? The ears and eyes. And then Allah Ta'ala, third thing Allah Ta'ala referring is the heart. Heart is something, if your heart is set on something, if your heart is set on something, you will do it. Because you say, oh, my heart wants to do this to me, right? Your heart tells you what needs to be done. So if your heart convinces you, hey, doing this is good, no matter how difficult it is, you will do it. Because sometimes you are tired with the feeling of your heart, right? So Allah Ta'ala is saying that their hearts, Allah Ta'ala has put a stamp on their heart, meaning stamp means Allah Ta'ala has, when you write something, when the document is official, we get from school or somewhere, they put a stamp on it, on the document. When they put a stamp on the document, meaning this document is final. You cannot make a change on that. So Allah Ta'ala is saying that because these people have decided they want to be disbelievers, Allah Ta'ala has put a stamp on their heart. Meaning their heart is not going to tell them to do good. Their heart will be satisfied on doing bad. The heart is continue doing what it's doing. So when we do something bad and we feel bad, what is that feeling bad? Is the heart tell us, hey, you did something bad, right? When we do something really bad, and even though we pretend that we are all happy, but we get feeling from inside. What is that feeling? That feeling is that heart is not satisfied.
How?
Right? The heart is not satisfied, and it tries to tell us that you don't feel good inside because heart is not feeling good. So Allah Ta'ala is saying that when they are doing bad thing, Allah Ta'ala has put a stamp on their heart that their heart is not going to convince them that they're doing bad.
How do the heart is stamping? Allah Ta'ala is going to body from stamping.
Yes, Allah Ta'ala has the power to go inside your body, put a stamp. Allah Ta'ala has the power to do everything.
So you feel weird when Allah Ta'ala goes in your body.
We don't even feel it. Allah Ta'ala makes it, we don't even feel it. So Allah Ta'ala can do it. Allah Ta'ala is the one who controls the heart. Allah Ta'ala is the one who controls every part of us. So Allah Ta'ala has the control over heart. Only Allah Ta'ala controls the heart, right? So Allah Ta'ala, so the stamp is not that Allah Ta'ala is going to go and put a physical stamp. It's just Allah Ta'ala is saying it's like that. It's like that. There's a stamp on the heart, and because of that stamp, heart has made a decision that is not going to change. It's not going to change for good. So Allah Ta'ala is saying that these people, Allah Ta'ala has put stamp on their heart and on their hearing. On the hearing, Allah Ta'ala has put a stamp. Allah Ta'ala has put a dot on the hearing, meaning when there's a dot on the hearing, you're not able to listen. So even though they're listening, right? They're listening, but they're not listening good things. When they listen to good things, the ear is not doing what it's supposed to do. The ear is supposed to do what? It is supposed to listen good things and learn, right? So when Allah Ta'ala has put a dot on their ears, the ear is going to keep on listening good things, but that listening is useless because that ear is not converting the knowledge, the thing into good knowledge. Allah Ta'ala is saying that Allah Ta'ala has put a vision. Allah Ta'ala, on their vision, Allah Ta'ala has made a curtain. So when there's a curtain in front of us, we cannot see after the curtain, right? If there's something is blocking my eyes, if I put a curtain or a cloth in front of me, I cannot see what's beyond that. So these people, when they see something good happening, when they see Prophet ﷺ telling them good things, Allah Ta'ala has put a vision, a veil in front of them. A veil is like, a veil is like a curtain in front of them. Because of that veil, they cannot see beyond that. So meaning that they can't even see what's good and what's bad. So their eyes are useless in learning anything good. Their ears are useless in learning anything good, and their hearts have been stamped that they don't want the person to feel bad on doing bad. So Allah is saying that these people who are disbeliever, it doesn't matter, you tell them good or bad, they will not going to believe. And Allah Ta'ala has put a stamp on their heart and on their ears and also on their eyes. Allah Ta'ala has put a curtain that they cannot see the good. Walahum azabun azim, and for them is a punishment great. That these people, because Allah Ta'ala, why did Allah Ta'ala did all these things? Because Allah Ta'ala knows that the Prophet is preaching them and they don't want to listen. These people are the most stubborn people. They don't want to listen. And then Allah Ta'ala says, okay, you don't want to listen to good thing. I'm also not going to make you like that the good thing does not affect you. So continue with the bad things and earn bad habits, and then in the end you will get a great punishment, and that punishment is Jahannam.
Can you hear someone if you put all your earphones for like 5 minutes?
If someone is talking very loud, yeah, you can hear. If someone is not talking very loud, we can hear. So we need to whenever we do dua to Allah Ta'ala, we should always do dua to Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala do not make us among these people. Allah Ta'ala always help us get knowledge, get the right knowledge. Okay.
And some people जब उनके कर्म लाभ बोलते हैं हम थोड़ा सा यूज खोलते हैं और फिर इतना लाभ नहीं होता.
हाँ जी. Okay, next ayat. Alina beta, you want to read the next ayat?
Okay. From which ayat again?
You're going to read ayat number 8.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله وباليوم الآخر وما هم بمؤمنين. And the definition is, and among the people there are some who say, we believe in Allah and in the last day, but they are not believers at all.
Okay, so this ayat Allah Ta'ala says, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. And of the people are some who say we believe in Allah and in the day, the last, but not they are the believers at all. So in the previous ayat, Allah Ta'ala says these people who have decided, doesn't matter you go preach them or don't preach them, they will not believe in you. And Allah Ta'ala has put dot on their ears. Allah Ta'ala has put a stamp on their heart, and Allah Ta'ala has put a veil in front of their eyes, so they are not going to be guided ever, right? So Allah Ta'ala, when Allah Ta'ala has put these things on their organs, it means they're not going to be guided because they have made a decision that they don't want to follow good, and then Allah Ta'ala made a decision that okay, go to hell, you're going to go to hell, and Allah Ta'ala is not going to give you guidance. Now in this ayat, Allah Ta'ala says, so there are third group of people as well. The third group of people Allah Ta'ala is talking about. So there are three kind of people, right? So we learned from this first few ayats that there are three kind of people. The first one is the one to whom a guidance comes, meaning he learns good thing from Prophet or from Allah's book. He accepts it and become Mu'min. he becomes Muslim. So that's the first criteria. So that's the first type of person who becomes Muslim. The second type of person is like a guidance go to him and he says, hey, I don't want to believe. Doesn't matter what you say. So that's the second category which we talk. Then to that category, Allah says, if they have decided they're not going to believe, I'm going to also put all these things on their ears, eyes, and on their heart, so they will not be guided ever. Now, third category, Allah says that there's a third category as well, and these are the people. They say that we are believer. So you go tell them, hey, do this thing. They say, okay, we believe you. This is the right thing. We believe that. And they say that we believe in Allah Ta'ala and we believe in the Day of Judgment, meaning we are Muslim. And then, but they say that, but they're still not believers. What does it mean? It means they're lying. They're lying to you and they're lying to themselves. They're lying to everyone. Because when a good thing comes to them, they say, yeah, we do this. But their heart, by the heart, they're still following what they want to do. So this category, these are also Muslims, right? These are also Muslims because they have accepted Islam. As Allah says, they have accepted Islam. They're the believer of Allah, the believer of Day of Qiyamah, and they believe everything. But Allah says they still are not mu'min. They are still not believers because they are lying. So there's a big category of Muslims, unfortunately now, who falls in this category. So these people are called hypocrites. These are hypocrites, meaning munafiq, meaning they say something, do something else. So they say one thing, but they don't do it, they do something else.
Is that lying?
It's like lying. So the lying is a quality as well. It's betraying. They're betraying to themselves, they're betraying to other Muslims, they're betraying to Allah Ta'ala as well. So these are munafiq. These are munafiq. So these are, even though they say they're Muslim, but they are hypocrites. So they say one thing, but do other thing. Right. So Allah is saying that these people, even though they say they have become Muslim, they believe in Allah Ta'ala, believe in Qiyamah, but they're still not believers. So because they are lying. So lying is such a big sin. With their lying, they are not in the category of Muslims as well because of that. Because they say, hey, all what you're saying as Prophet, it makes sense. Yes, you're right. Everything is good. We cannot argue with that. Everything saying is good. So they tell you on the face that everything is good, but they still don't follow what's required to be a Muslim. Right? Okay. So this is the third category. Next ayat. Sarah beta, you read the next ayat.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Ayat 9.
जी बेटा.
يخادعون الله والذين آمنوا وما يخدعون إلا أنفسهم وما يشعرون. And the definition is they seek to deceive Allah and those who believe, but they do not deceive except themselves. They do not normalize it. They do not realize it.
Okay, good. So this ayat says, يحاربون الله والذين آمنوا وما يخدعون إلا أنفسهم وما يشعرون. So Allah says they seek to deceive Allah. So the people in the last category, the third category, they're deceiving, right? They're lying. So the lying is deceiving. So they're deceiving Allah Ta'ala. They seek to deceive Allah Ta'ala with what they're doing. And those who believed, so when they're saying that we believe in everything which you're saying, we believe in Allah, we believe in Day of Qiyamah, but they're still not believers, meaning they're still not doing what's required for them to do as a Muslim. It means they are deceiving Allah Ta'ala and they're deceiving the people who are believers. They're deceiving Muslims and not they deceive except themselves and not they realize. Allah Ta'ala is saying that even though they're thinking they're deceiving Allah Ta'ala and they're deceiving the other Muslims, but actually in reality they're just deceiving themselves. They're just deceiving themselves and they do not realize. How are they deceiving themselves? They're deceiving themselves meaning they know what is good, they know what's need to be done, but they're not doing it. But doing that, they're deceiving themselves, meaning they are taking themselves to hellfire. So they're destroying themselves. So they're deceiving themselves, right? So even though they know what's good, what's bad, and they don't want to follow it, they're just deceiving themselves, because they're gonna be end up in hellfire. They'll be destroyed, and they don't even realize, and they don't even know that they are just deceiving themselves by doing bad.
Will they die with fire? Because fire and humans die with fire. What if they bring? Can you bring the water in hellfire?
No, beta, Allah Ta'ala is not gonna give you that. Okay, Region, that's fine. Okay, next ayat. Who's left? Umar, beta, you go ahead. Next ayat.
Okay, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا ولهم عذاب عليم بما كانوا يكذبون. And the definition is, in their hearts is a disease, so Allah increased them in disease, and for them is a punishment painful because they lie.
Okay, good. So in this ayat, Allah Ta'ala says, في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا ولهم عذاب أليم بما كانوا يكذبون. In their hearts is a disease. So in their hearts is a disease. So Allah increased them in their disease, and for them is a punishment painful because they used to lie. So Allah Ta'ala is talking about third category here again, that these people who say that we are Muslims, who believe in Allah and the day of Qiyamah, but still they are not Mu'min, they're not doing the right things, and they're trying to deceive Allah Ta'ala, and they're trying to deceive other Muslims, but in reality they're just deceiving themselves. Then Allah says, because of this thing, they're doing this because fi qulubihim maradun, they have disease in their heart. Disease in their heart, meaning their hearts are sick. When a heart is sick, what does it mean? Heart is sick. When the heart is sick, the person is sick, right? Heart is like the heart is the center part of your thing. If the heart dies, you die. If the heart is sick, you're sick. So their heart is a disease. Their heart is sick. When they're sick, meaning their brain is sick. They're total sick. They don't know what they're doing. They're sick people. So if the heart has disease, they're sick people. So whatever they're doing is because of the sickness. And so Allah Ta'ala says, فَزَادَهُمُ marada, and Allah Ta'ala has increased their disease. Because their heart is sick, and Allah Ta'ala has increased it more. And why the heart is sick? Because they're trying to cheat Allah Ta'ala, and they're trying to cheat Muslims. Because of that, their heart is sick. Only a sick person will do that. Only a sick person will try to cheat others. Only a sick person will try to cheat his creator, which is Allah Ta'ala. Right? So Allah is saying that they don't know that they're cheating themselves by doing all this thing. And because of doing this thing, their heart has become a diseased heart. And Allah Ta'ala is increasing that disease, and walahum azabun alim, and for them there's a punishment severe. There's a punishment severe, and why is that? Because they used to lie. They used to lie. So now we see the lying, it's all started with lying, as I said, because they lied to Muslims, because when you lie, you become, that lying can take you to hellfire. See that the consequences of lying is very, very high. They lie to Prophet, they lie to Muslims, they're Muslims, and because of that, they become sick people, and their sickness, Allah Ta'ala, because of their one, they're going to end up in Jahannam. So we need to always, whenever we say something, we always need to state truth. Does not matter what the consequences are. So sometimes we say something which is not truth and we lie. Why do we lie? We lie because we don't know. We are scared that if we speak truth, a certain consequence will happen. Even though we're not sure if that consequence is going to happen or not, right, Rida? So if we say truth, we sometimes don't want to speak truth, because we say, hey, if I speak truth, my teacher will get angry at me. If I speak truth, my parents are going to get angry at me. We don't know if they're going to get angry or not angry. And that's why we sometimes lie to save ourselves, right? We lie to save ourselves, even though we don't know by saying a lie what the consequences will be. We just think that the consequences is going to be in our favor and we lie. So it is a big, big sin. We should never lie. We should always speak truth. So Allah Ta'ala is saying all these three ayahs, they are doing all these things and just because they lie. So lying is a very, very big sin. Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, a Muslim, a true Muslim can never lie. So that's what Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said about lying. He said that a true Muslim, he was asked, can a Muslim lie? He said, no, a true Muslim can never lie. Meaning if he's lying, he is in danger of being a Muslim even. So may Allah Ta'ala help us. So in this ayat as well, see how strictly Allah Ta'ala is saying that all this punishment coming to them is because they lied. They lied on something and because of the lying, their heart becomes sick. When they lie, heart becomes sick, right? Because heart is telling them to do good, but they're lying, the heart becomes sick. Allah Ta'ala increases their sickness and that sickness can take them to hellfire. It's all because of lying. So we need to pray. We all whenever we pray, we need to ask Allah Ta'ala that Allah Ta'ala help us be strong because only a weak person lie. You lie because you're scared of something. If you do something bad, someone asks you why you're doing it, you lie. You lie because you are scared. You are scared of the consequences that if you say truth, maybe the person's going to get angry at me. So we should always have strong faith. We should never lie. If we do something bad, we always say the truth and we apologize. We say, I'm sorry, I did this, but this is what happened. So I don't want to lie. This is what happened because I'm not going to lie. So you talk to yourself, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to always say truth. Does not matter what the consequence is going to be. The consequence is going to be not as big as going to hellfire because the lying can take you to hellfire. In this world, when we lie, the consequences, maybe your parents, your teacher will be angry at you. If they get angry, it doesn't matter. You say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it again. And you try to fix the problem, right? So you never lie. You say, oh, you always say the truth. You always say the truth. Because the lying can take you away from the religion that can take you in hellfire. That big of a consequences is going to happen for sure. But in this world, we don't know. If we say truth, because whenever we say something, whenever we're trying to hide a truth, there's always a reason that if I say truth, maybe certain thing is not going to happen, which I wanted to happen. But we don't know if that thing's going to happen eventually or not. So just by we just do our calculations in our mind and we lie because we think that if we lie, there's certain thing which I'm trying to get. If I tell a truth, maybe I'm not going to get. And I lie, even though by that lying, there's no certainty, there's no guarantee that it's going to happen. So for us, we should always stay with the truth. It doesn't matter if we achieve that goal or we don't achieve that goal. Allah Ta'ala is the one who's provider of everything. We need to have faith in that only Allah Ta'ala can make things happen. And why would we lie when we are just thinking a very short-term result? Understand, Rita? Good. So I think we're gonna wrap it up here. We read, yeah. So we read 4 hours, which is good enough for today, inshallah. Anyone have any question?
Let's talk in Sarah's chat room.
Any question regarding what we read? Okay, if no one has any questions, so we're gonna wrap it up here, inshallah, and we make dua that Allah Ta'ala help us understand Quran and help us become help people of Quran, help us, stay on the right path. So inshallah, we're gonna continue from ayat number 11 going forward. Until then, Allah Hafiz.